What's going on, traders? Few things to talk about. This is going to be a quick video because I need to take a break. I am kind of burnt out right now. So let's get straight into it. So right now we're looking at the NQ daily time frame and we're looking at 2018. I know you guys are probably tired of me talking about this, but it's kind of crazy how things are playing out almost down to the T. And one thing we talked about is in 2018, this is where Donald Trump was president. And between 2018 and 2019, you were having a tariff war. Now, what's interesting is that you are forming or you formed three black crows pattern here. So you got your bearish engulfing candle here, bearish engulfing candle here, so on and so forth, thus forming a three black crows pattern. And then the next day you formed a doji, and then the next day you tanked all the way towards the 200 MA. Now, after you tanked towards the 200 MA, you formed a doji once again, and then you started to move back towards the upside. And every time you moved back towards the upside, you would hit the 100 MA, or you got a little bit above the 100 MA, and then you rejected. So you rejected here, you made a lower low. You rejected here, made a lower high, lower low, and then you rejected here and you headed much lower. So every time we hit the 100 MA, we were rejected and make a lower low. Now, if we fast forward and go back to present day, we're playing this out like almost down to the T. The only difference here is that you have this one extra candle. But as you guys can see, we formed this three black crows pattern. We dojied the next day. We tanked. We formed, one extra candle, and then we tanked again towards the 200 MA. The next day, we form a doji candle. It's kind of crazy, right? Now, the difference here is that this doji candle is, bearish and the other one is bullish, but it doesn't matter. Doji candles are just indecisive candles. It means the market isn't sure on what's going to happen next. And we are, pretty much in a time of uncertainty right now, especially considering our president and just how random he is with these tariffs, right? And then we pumped the next day. So it's kind of crazy how things are playing out down to the T. So the question is, if we are going to continue to pump from here, are we going to head towards the 100 MA like we saw in 2018? And if so, are we going to reject from there and start creating lower highs and lower lows? You guys let me know what you think about that in the comments below. Now, your key levels here is goes without saying 20,770. All right, 20,770, 20,780. You get above this. What you want to see is a break and retest, and then chances are we're going to head towards the 100 MA at around 21,000, 21,100. And then what happens from there is pretty much up in the air, but it's kind of crazy how things are playing out. All right, it's playing out like almost exactly the same as 2018. The only difference is that we have this one extra candle here before we headed further down to the 200 MA. Now, in regards to downside, I think it just goes without saying you just want to see a breakback below the 200 MA at around 20,300. We saw attempts of that level being broken today, but we just could not hold below it. So you definitely want to see 20,300 get broken below if you are bearish. Yes, so when it comes to the ES 5850, once again, we are still having a hard time getting above this level. Not only that, but if we zoom out here, so not only are we having a hard time getting above 5850, but we're just having a hard time breaking above this trend line right here, this blue trend line right here. So we bounced here, and then we finally broke through the trend line, right? And then we hit the 200 MA, and we're currently trading below it. So we want to see the ES get above 5850 if we want to see more upside. From there, you're looking at a move towards 5880, and then from there, you're looking at a move towards 5900. Ultimately, if you are bullish and you want to be optimistic, you want to see us get above 5900. All right, 5900 is your key level here, and then you can just start really going crazy towards the upside. All right, now when it comes to downside, again, goes without saying, 5,700. You get below 5,700, things get really, really, really bad. All right, really, really bad. All right, you're looking at a move towards 5,650. You're going to enter this territory right here where these guys are. There's a lot of turbulence down here. You also have a gap that needs to get filled down here. I wouldn't say needs to get filled, but if you do get below 5,700, I do imagine that's where the ES is going to head towards, right where this gap is. So yeah, you don't want to see 5,700 get broken. Okay, now we look at the SPY. So SPY, things are looking good. I will admit you closed above 580. That's a good sign. Ultimately, you want to get above 584. So we're leaning a little bit more bullish. Okay, we're leaning a little bit more bullish for the short term. Again, I still don't think this is the bottom, guys. I still don't think this is the bottom. I think we're going to see more downside, not because of 2018. It's because of other reasons, which we'll talk about in the future. But for now, Again, I don't think this is the bottom. Institutions are still loading up on VIX calls, specifically 30 strike calls. We'll talk about that in another video because I just, like I said, I want this video to be short. But yeah, 584 in regards to upside. You want to see SPY get above 584 from there. Obviously, you're heading towards 590. Someone asked me in the Discord, what's the highest I think we can go if this is a short term push towards the upside? Right now, I'm looking at about 595, between 590, 595. If we're being like optimistic, we could see a move towards 600, 602 range. But for now, I'm looking at 595 before we potentially reject all over again and head further to the downside. So let me know if you guys agree with that or disagree. Just keep it respectful as always. But yeah, 584 is your main level here that you want to see SPY get above. In regards to downside, it pretty much goes without saying. You just really want to see these guys get taken out. Now, what's interesting here is that you still have not touched the 200 MA on the SPY. So very interesting. All right, very, very interesting. So we can easily see a move towards 568. If we get below 572, you get pretty illiquid below 572. So yeah, definitely want to pay attention to there. But if you get above 584, or I would even say 585, which is your psych level, you're pretty much in the same territory as these guys right here. Okay, right here. So yeah, you get in this territory with these guys, you're pretty much chilling. Okay, you're pretty much chilling and things are looking great. What you don't want to see is a rejection from here and a breakback below 579. Okay, you do not want to see SPY reject from here. Now, I will say that there's a certain pattern that keeps happening and within the market, I guess within the tech sector, I should say, you keep dumping in the morning and then you'll pump in the evening and then you'll do it all over again. So hopefully you guys are picking up on that pattern. We just keep doing that. And it's I get it. It's annoying, right? But yeah, we keep on like dumping like any gains we get towards close, we dump in the morning, so at open, and then we, start pumping towards close. I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow, but just be prepared for that potential thing to happen, right? Because, Trump is just all over the place right now. So you definitely want to be careful. Like I said, you want to take profit when you can because you're going to see very violent moves in both directions. And we keep talking about this. My rule, take profit at 40%. I might even lower it to 30% just because of our president and just how, radical he is all over the place. So yeah, you definitely want to be careful when it comes to the swings towards the upside and even the downside because again, you'll get a dump in the morning and then it's like, oh, bulls got trapped, and then you'll get a pump in the evening and it's like, oh, bears got trapped, and it keeps repeating over and over. So be careful, guys. Don't get trapped. Take profit when you can. Discord members are definitely doing good with that idea. They're taking profit when they can, and I'm making sure they take profit when they can, or at least doing my best to. So interesting enough, 2 hour time frame on the SPY, you do have a double bottom here. You got a bottom here, and then you have your neckline at 584, right? So right now we're kind of mounting 582. This is one of your key levels, but ultimately, again, you want to see a break above this neckline, 584, and then chances are you're going to rip towards the upside. If we're talking about the measured move of this double bottom, all you do is measure from the neckline to the bottom of whatever bottom, the most previous bottom. You bring it to the neckline, and then you're looking at a move towards 594. Ironic enough, my price target is 595, and I just did this on a whim. Well, on a whim, like I didn't even like do this earlier or anything like that. So 595 is your projected move if this double bottom neckline gets broken above 584. So that's what you're looking at when it comes to the SPY. Triple Qs. Same thing. You're on a 2 hour time frame. You're creating higher lows. So you got a low here, higher low here. You're mounting above 500, or you're retesting 500, I should say. So you definitely want to see the triple Qs kind of, bounce from here, not kind of bounce, but, bounce from here. And then you're looking at a move towards 510. Okay. 510 is like the move I'm looking at. Um, and then from there, it's really tough to say. Okay. It's really tough to say. I mean, I guess the highest we could be looking at is about 518. Any higher than that, then I guess we're just entering a rally at that point. I mean, it goes without saying we're kind of entering a rally now, but if anything, if we get above 510, it's a lot of liquid territory all the way towards 518. So that's why I'm saying 518, and it's tough for me to see us go any higher than 518 because we're pretty far off from that. I'm not saying I don't want it to happen, but we're just so far off from that target. So 510 minimum is what I'm looking at right now when it comes to the triple Qs. All right. So I mean not yeah, IWM. So IWM making higher lows right now. It's looking good towards the upside. 214 is your ultimate target here. If if it decides to follow along with the market. A lot of times IWM just kind of stays stagnant and does its own thing, especially if you get bad news or good news or whatever the case may be, because once again, IWM is very sensitive to news. So the market kind of rallied today, but the IWM didn't do much of anything today. But again, you're making these higher lows, and right now 214 is your target. All right. There's a wall at 210. We'll say 211 actually, around 210, 211, give or take, just a range. So that's your next line of defense if IWM just so happens to break out of here, and then after that, you're looking at a move towards 214. I'm not looking any higher than that, but we'll see. Okay. Stock Tesla. Tesla is looking amazing right now. So institutions, they're loading up 300 calls on Tesla expiration next week, March 14th. So you have a low here, you have a higher low here, right? You have a higher low here. You mounted five, not five. Where am I getting five from? 273. You mounted 273, right? So you want to see Tesla break above 280. We've seen how hard that level is today. We've been having a hard time getting above it. It's not anything crazy, but 280. You definitely want to see us get above that, and then chances are we're going to head towards 285 and then 290. Ultimately, in order for us to get to 300, you want to see Tesla get above 292, between 292 294. So again, you're making a higher low. So you got your low here, higher low here. You broke out. You have a, I guess you can argue this is a double bottom here, and then your neckline is kind of at 280 because we're having a very hard time getting above 280. So right about, let's mark it out for you guys here. So right about here. Okay, right about here is where you want to see Tesla break out. It's attempting to do so, but you want to get more confirmation here. We also entered 300 calls on this thing at around 272, 273 range. So right now we're currently in profit. And then, of course, I gave Discord members the option to take profit before close. So that's what I'm looking at for Tesla. It's looking good right now. It's looking good. Now, what I will say is that institutions loaded up on 240 puts as well. So this is another reason why I think this upside is short lived. Okay, I don't know if Friday is going to be the cause of the next drop, but yeah, you guys definitely want to be careful. Of course, trade the upside, enjoy the profit, all that fun stuff. I'm not against upside at all. Somebody asked me like the other day, like, do you ever do calls? And I'm like, yeah, I do calls all the time. It's just there was no reason to do calls, but now there is. Okay, now there is because things do look a lot better, right? They don't look, great. They don't look like all-time highs or anything like that, but it does look like we're going to get more upside for the short term. So we'll see. Okay, we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we just continue towards the upside. We'll see. So Tesla, I just want to go over Tesla because Tesla looks the best out of like pretty much everything. Nothing else really looks good. You can argue that Nvidia looks okay here, which it looks okay. I mean, you're looking good. You got a low here, higher low here, but you need to break this trend right here, all right, for Nvidia to really take off. Right, so you really want to break this trend. You're kind of like consolidating, and I mean break this trend like convincingly. All right, you want to break it like with a nice little bullish candle towards the upside. So right now you're mounting support. That's a good sign at around 117. Nvidia, you do not want to see Nvidia get back below 115. Okay, you don't want to see that. All right, I'm still on a 2 hour time frame. Yeah, you don't want to see Nvidia get back below 115. Bulls defended this thing. Like Bulls defended this thing to the ends of the earth. So yeah, clearly 115 is something they do not want to give up, because if you get back below 115, you are back in negative gamma territory, and that's probably going to like drag the market down. So yeah, Nvidia above 117, chances are you're heading towards 120. So looking good. I don't have any crazy targets for Nvidia. I mean, you could retest 125. And the reason why I don't have crazy targets is because SMH and SOXX still are in a bad area right here. Again, I mean, trust me, if the moment these things become bullish, I'm all for an upside rally. Like not just a rally, but like previous highs, all time highs. But they're still trading below 229, or SMH is still trading below 229. You're still below 235, which is the main level that I want to see get broken for us to start talking about the market like really rallying towards the upside. So yeah, I mean, SMH still is in this weird territory where it can head back towards the downside. So yeah, not married to the idea of this pump with the market. It looks great. Yes. Do I think we're going to see a little bit more upside? Yes, very much possible, but ultimately I don't think the bottom is it, guys. Simple as that. All right, I just don't. Okay. Maybe that changes. We'll see. Of course, I will let you guys know. I will let Discord members know as always. SOXX. Same thing with SOXX. I mean, SOXX, it broke back out of this rising wedge, but like I said in the last video, you can just easily be creating a lower high here, right? It didn't create a lower high yet, so you can easily head towards about 215. That'll probably send Nvidia like flying to like 125 or something. But yeah, you retest the bottom of this, rising channel, and you create some type of lower high here, and boom, you're doing it all over again. So high here, lower high here. So I'm not buying this move until you break those key levels, which is 215 on XOXX and 235 on SMH. And I mean, even right now, SMH is having a hard time just getting above 229. So that's what you want to see when it comes to the semiconductor ETFs. Um, VIX. So, like I said, institutions are loading up 30 calls on the VIX still. You do have an evening star pattern on the daily time frame, so things are looking good. You got your bullish engulfing candle, you got a nice little shooting star here, and then you have a bearish candle here. So that's signs that is a bearish sign that VIX can head further down towards the downside. If VIX gets below 20, you're looking really, really good, and you can start heading towards like the low 17s if possible. All right. So again, I mean, and then you have this bearish engulfing candle as well. Now, this is why this is why it's funny that what I said earlier, right? When the market just keeps on doing these, up moves and down moves in the morning. So like in the morning, you see this like bearish move, and then towards the evening, you'll see like this bullish move. This is an inverted hammer pattern, right? So this is why it's funny. This is a bullish pattern. So the VIX can easily, do this in the morning, right? Probably retest 23. I was about to say 223, 23 somewhere around there. Maybe highest it goes is about 23.2 or something like that, and make a lower high and then head further down. So again, don't be surprised if we see some type of sell off in the morning. The VIX is making lower highs. That's a great sign, but still, it still bothers me. Institutions are loading up 30 calls from March 18th. All right, and they're also loading up 27 calls from March 18th. I'll talk about it in another video, but yeah, that's pretty much all I have when it comes to the overall market. Again, you have this inverted hammer pattern, so I don't think it's going to last. I think it's going to be a little bit short lived. You probably see like one more little bounce towards the upside when it comes to the VIX, and then you'll probably see like a sell off in the morning or something like that, and then everybody freak out. Bears get trapped, and then we head back towards the upside. But ultimately, in case I'm wrong, guys, just pay attention to the levels. 58.50 on the ES, still having a hard time getting above that. You have a double bottom pattern forming here. Your neckline is at 58.50. You want to see that get broken. NQ, same thing. You want to see these necklines get broken across the board. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. If you agree, let me know in the comments below. If you disagree, let me know. Just keep it respectful as always. Discord link is in the description below. We've been on an absolute rampage lately, so you definitely want to take advantage now. All right. Until the next video, traders, have a good one.